I just woke up. It's Steph's middle school souffle, and I'm on series 7, ADHD in middle school. I'm going to do episode 6, which is giving sleeping tips. Yeah, so I'm in my son's bedroom right now, and it's 8:30 in the morning. So, perfect. Okay, so we're going to talk about sleep. I'm in my pajamas, and I'm here to talk about why sleep's important. We know why sleep's important. I think you've all done studies to pay attention and learn in school, improve athletic performance, grow and develop normally. Oh my gosh, this is the time for growth spurts. They need that sleep and to be healthy. This is for all children, all people. Okay, so people with sleep deficits, and I'm going to go through this, 70% of people with ADHD have sleep deficits. 70. That's a lot because that brain's not shutting down. They have health problems like heart disease and obesity, troubles fighting infections, and emotional problems like depression, like anxiety. You're not getting sleep. It's not good. It's all negative. Everything. Okay? You know that. But now I want you to think that you're a kid and not getting these things, not being able to grow and develop, not doing well in school. Okay? Self-esteem goes, poof, and it's because of a lack of sleep a lot of times. So sleep hours for middle school. I just wrote down here, the American Academy of Sleep Medicine has recommended that children age 6 to 12, so maybe around the age of, let's say, first grade, kindergarten, up until 6th, 7th grade, regularly sleep 9 to 12 hours. And usually from 8th grade and on, sleep 8 to 10 hours per 24 hours. That's good sleep. So I can't talk about school strategies and what I do with kids with ADHD as far as academics and organization if they're not getting sleep. So this is a biological necessity. So again, that's why I'm addressing this first. I just told you 70% of children who have ADHD struggle with sleep. Again, there's a lot of science out there. Please read it. I'd like to go over the tips first, but a lot of it is brain-based, and those neurotransmitters there's like some chemical imbalance in a brain with ADHD. So research that yourself, please, if you're interested. So here's my tips for you, okay? Parents, you need to accept this, okay? Because you love your child, because this is love, and your child has some type of disorder, or let's even say some children with disability. If you're a parent with a child with disabilities or disorders, it's not fun. Let's be real. It's not that fun because the sleep part impacts you. So accept this. You're going to need to have structure, and you're going to need to almost structure your family around perhaps this child's sleeping patterns. It's not fair, but I say to you, suck it up, okay? Because that's love. Part of loving somebody is sacrifice, right? And this is real. Just accept that your sleeping patterns might have to fit this child's sleeping patterns, okay? And you're going to do what it takes. I'm not talking about medication this series. I'm not going there. That's a personal decision. Tip number 2, middle school is not the time for self-awareness at bedtime. So what a lot of you are doing is these children, they need to discover themselves, and they have to learn to sleep and regulate themselves. I agree, but not with a child with ADHD. I don't agree with that at all. They need structure. That's a huge mistake. They need you to put the smack down and say, you're going to bed at this time. We have a structure for you. I was lucky as a child because my parents had a set bedtime for me, and that meant lights out, and they would check in on me. They need guidance because they're looking for that next dopamine, serotonin rush, even at bedtime. So without you putting in the structure, they're not going to go to sleep. So you need to be consistent. It's not the time for them to discover and regulate themselves. Not for a child with ADHD. So stop thinking that. You need to be the boss. Do the math. Structure the time. So think, when does your child need to go to school by or get on the bus? Then you need to calculate some healthy time for how long they need to get ready and organized. Remember, a child with ADHD doesn't have great organization skills. They forget things. So you need to factor in some more time for that. I'll get to that in a next episode or a episode. So subtract. You got to do some math now. If your kid is 6th and 7th grade, they might need 9 to 12 hours of sleep. If your kid is 8th grade, 9th grade, however your middle school programming works, they're going to need 8 to 10 hours. Now, this is the part where it's not fair compared to other children. You're going to need to calculate in about 30 minutes to an hour just before. You're going to add in another one because that's where they have difficulty sleeping. Okay, so you have to add an additional time than most parents because that brain's not wanting to shut down. And falling asleep for a person with ADHD, it's a battle. It's a battle. Okay, tip 4, routine. Stick with it during the school year. Enforce it. It may be helpful, if possible, if your whole family has a routine of some sort. If you have other kids, everybody goes to bed, and there's a structure for each age group. Traveling in summer are very difficult, but bedtime is still a great idea. My son and daughter do not have ADHD, and they still have like an extra hour than the school year, but we still say it's bedtime, get to bed by 10. 9:30, 10 o'clock. Okay. Gosh dang it. You guys are not listening to me on this. Do not put cell phones. I'm still not getting my son a cell phone until 9th grade, but that's all right. That's you. No cell phones or screens in a middle school child's bedroom. I don't care if they have ADHD or not. Don't. Okay, so let's talk about ADHD brain. Any blinking lights or noise will distract this child way more than a child without ADHD. Any notifications, bling, bling, or a sound, bling. This brain's like, ooh. Get that cell phone out of the bedroom. Oh, but my child has their alarm on it. No! No! Okay, this is what you get. You get a real alarm clock. Or, you see this? It's called Alexa. Alexa, set an alarm for 7 a.m.
Alarm set for 7 a.m. tomorrow.
See? There's no cell phones in this bedroom. I know my son also. He doesn't even have ADHD, and he'd be like, oh, a screen. Parents, stop doing that. In middle school, use an Alexa or a real alarm clock. I'm telling you, how many kids, with or without ADHD, come to my classroom because they've been on their phone all night. Get the phone out of the bedroom. Get a screen out of the bedroom. Listen to me on this. I am the one suffering as a teacher because your child didn't get enough sleep. Okay, I'm done with my preaching. Then you're going to have to check in on them after 30 minutes because your child isn't innocent. They may have sneaked in a phone. They may have sneaked in an iPad. I've busted my son doing this. And with a child with ADHD, make sure the lights are out and it's dark. Make sure. Okay, so it's going to be dark. They'll sleep better with no stimulation. In fact, sometimes I need to cover all the lights in the room. and no noise like this. Because my brain can hear tick, 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 or zzz, zzz, a little mosquito. Your child's brain will pick up on anything in the room. Anything. So quiet. Shh. And dark. Check in on them, though. They're going to sneak something in. Or they're going to be distracting themselves doing something else. And then you enforce the smackdown. Get to bed. Okay, tip 7, bed hopping. I've been telling you that I've been doing this as a kid. I'll battle it out. A lot of kids will battle it out. Even with some routine. They'll fall asleep. And then they'll get up because they're light sleepers. And then they'll go and you'll find them on a sofa or a chair or on the floor in their room. Let them be. As long as they're getting sleep and getting to school and still getting that organized time, still waking up to their alarm clock, just let them be. I guess this is the way they're self-regulating themselves. But again, you need to enforce the beginning of it. Okay, you need to enforce the time they go to bed without screens, without a phone in their room. Okay, for the child, this is part of the acceptance too. For the child with ADHD, this sleep battle is going to continue on into adulthood. It really will. It's not fair, but structures will need to be set in place for them forever. And they'll figure it out as they go on. Okay, so it's not fair, right? Life's not fair. I'm sure something in your life, you're like, oh, I wish I'm this way or that way. But for brain chemical imbalances, yeah, this is part of it. And whether or not you choose to put your child on medication, personal choice. But I just needed you to hear me, especially on this one. Gosh darn it. Listen to me. Listen to all of you. Listen to me. Get that cell phone out of that room. Okay. All right. Thank you. If you like, subscribe or share. This is important stuff. Those kids need sleep. Middle schoolers need sleep. And they're going to fight you. They're going to fight you because, yeah, they're just going to fight. Middle schoolers, especially 8th graders. 8th graders like to argue quite a bit. So again, be the authority figure in this. It's for love and it's for their best. Get them some sleep. Bye.